All right, shalom, shalom. I'd like to start off first and foremost by giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Makakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule and teach well. And peace, love, salutations to those who do this work in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Nathaniel from the GMS Camp Atlanta, coming back into the spirit with another lesson. And I pray and hope this lesson is edifying. And I'm going to just get started straight to the point. Okay. As we said, and we've prophesied it before, that the Lord was going to hand this place over to a cruel Lord. All right. Now here you see how the title of this video is saying that how the U.S. is burning nearly $890 million every day. And what this does is this creates massive amounts of debt. Now, at the same time that they're launching this war, spending all of this money, they're telling the taxpayers that they don't have any money for social programs. They don't have any money to feed people, to fix the housing, the roads, and things of that nature. And yet they have money to spend on wars, to oppress and to kill people. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and start off with a quick precept. This is Isaiah 19. I'm just going to start for one from verse 1 because this is essentially the whole what's happening here in America right now. It says, "The burden of Egypt, behold, the Lord rideth upon a swift cloud, and shall come into Egypt, and the idols of Egypt shall be moved at his presence, and the heart of Egypt shall melt in the midst of it." And this is speaking about when Yahweh Shemi Shai comes back in his chariots. But before then, he says, "I will set the Egyptian against the Egyptian, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, everyone against his neighbor, city against kingdom, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." And why is that going to happen? Well, in this video, she's going to say some things that's going to show you exactly why these things are going to happen. "And the spirit of Egypt shall fail in the midst thereof, and I will destroy the counsel thereof, and they shall seek to the idols and the charmers, and to the charmers, and to them that have familiar spirits, and to the wizards." They're going to go to their left hand energy, and it's not going to work. Verse 4, "And I will, and the Egyptian I will give over into the hands of a cruel Lord. A fierce king shall rule over them, saith the Lord of hosts." And that's who Donald Trump is. Donald J. Trump, or Donald whoever Trump, he is that cruel Lord that the Lord has given the land of Egypt over to. Okay? As you're going to see in this video, and then I'm going to pull up some statistics that I pulled up before to show you that the money that this man has spent on this war, he could have fixed a lot of problems here in America for a lot of people. So without further ado, let's go ahead and play this video.
$300 every single second.
Let's
That's
listen to it.
$10,300 every single second. That's not the GDP of a small country. That's not a Wall Street bonus. That's how fast American taxpayers are bleeding money in the US war on Iran. Every second that you're watching this, you're losing over $10,000. This war has gone on for 31 days. The cost per second is $10,300. That makes the cost per hour $37 million, and the cost per day a whopping $890 million. So far, the United States has spent over $27 billion. $27 billion. So where is all of this money going? The biggest item is missiles and munitions. From Tomahawk cruise missiles to precision bombs, they cost $320 million a day. So Americans, every time you watch $1 million firework go off over the Persian Gulf,
So you heard her say $980 billion a day is what this war is costing. And it's already been going on for 27 days. And this was 6 days ago that this video was made. This was posted 6 days ago. And I don't even know. In this video, March 31st, yep, 6 days ago this was posted. So as of 6 days ago, it was $27 billion. Now, roughly about $1 billion a day, we're roughly at around 35 bill. $35 billion. Now, before we finish this video, let me pull up my DeepSeek because I don't really like ChatGPT because it be lying too much. All right. Now I'm just gonna type in specific cookies. Okay, how much? Let's see this shit. As of April 6th, they spent $42 billion. I was off. So we can just stop it right there because we see already, it's going to keep on tabulating the numbers. Um, so as of March 30th, it was 35 billion. Okay, it's going to keep on tabulating. So let's just stop it there. Okay. Okay. I mean, just tell it to finish. I think it was done. There's no ongoing declared war with Iran. So to be, all right, whatever. We see the number is 42 billion. So let's just type this in. Could No, it's formulating the breakdown. I don't care about that. It says here's the breakdown. 3.25 billion plus 6.5 billion annually, one another suggests could build 650,000 new housing units. 9.6 billion urban lab estimates this is roughly the cost of providing housing for 84% of homeless individuals who currently receive no federal housing aid. The 15 billion alliance, National Alliance to End Homelessness and University of Pennsylvania estimate this is an annual cost to house everyone in the U.S. Homeless shelters using the proven housing first model. So basically, 11 to 15 billion dollars. Now let's ask it uh, if 42 billion, if 40 42 billion was invested. Was Slovakia? Just asking it random questions. Now you see, now you see how chat how these AIs be lying because it said it was no record war in Iran, but it says 42 billion in Iran war, but it's not relevant. You see that how it mentioned the Iran war, so it just contradicted itself. Okay, it says 42 billion invested directly into the American system will be a substantial sum with the power to create transformative change across many areas of life. While it is not enough to solve every challenge, it is the kind of funding that has already been used for major national innovatives like the largest federal investment in high-speed internet. It says ending homelessness, right? It says connecting every American to the high-speed internet. It says supercharging medical research, transforming education and child welfare, fighting climate change and modernization infrastructure, strengthening the social safety net, putting 42 billion into perspective to help make sense of this number. Here's what it represents. Okay? So it breaks it down. Major government programs, economic stimulus, other major incentives, federal categories, tax cuts, and you can continue to dive deeper into it. All right. Now, all of this money, right, would have been invested back into the economy, but they're investing it in war because you have to realize that the people that are in power are the basis of men, and they are contrary to life. They don't want you living a good life. They don't want you at peace. They don't want you educated and healthy because they don't understand that to rule over people is to have people love you. Okay? And how do you get people to love you? By doing good by them, by being wise. All right? Now I'm going to read that again. Isaiah 19:4 says, I will give the Egyptians, and the Egyptians will I give over into the hand of a cruel Lord, and a fierce king shall reign over them, saith the Lord of hosts. Okay? So you see that the Lord has did exactly what he said he was going to do. He put a king over this place that is cruel, selfish, and desperately wicked. Okay? So we're going to go back and finish listening to this video because she's going to name a couple of things that the money that was spent by that day, what that money could have did. Okay?
Remember, you paid for it. Next is air operations. Fighter jets screaming off carrier decks, bomber runs, aerial refueling missions at 30,000 feet, reconnaissance, all of it running round the clock. That costs around 245 million a day. And then there's the Navy, carrier strike groups, destroyers, submarines. These aren't cheap to park in the Arabian Sea. So those account for 155 million a day. Missile defense is costly too, from the Thar to the Patriot batteries and the Aegis system. That costs $95 million a day. Intelligence and cyber operations cost around 45 million. I'm talking about satellites, surveillance drones, and digital warfare. And finally, the people actually doing all of this, from troops, supply chains to logistics, they cost around 30 million a day. That's your daily breakdown. $890 million every single day. And that's just the operational cost. That's just keeping the war running. Now factor in what's been destroyed. 3 F-15E fighter jets shot down in a friendly fire. Each one cost more than $100 million. More than a dozen MQ-9 Reaper drones were destroyed. They cost up to $30 million each. Reports say equipment losses and repair costs are somewhere between $1.4 billion to $2.9 billion. That too in just the first 3 weeks. So when you add it all up, some trackers are already putting the total figure past $35 billion. And the war shows zero signs of ending. Now, over $27 billion, that's a lot of money. It could have paid the salaries of 430,000 teachers for a full year. It could have built nearly 80,000 homes. It could have funded 232,000 full college scholarships. It could have provided clean water systems to 55,000 communities. Or, this one is staggering, it could have paid for almost 8 billion school lunches. Instead,
You see it?
it bought 31 days of war with.
You see that? And the world is sick of this shit, man. The world is tired of this. Tired of this damn warmongering. Always got to fight and do all this crazy shit. And this all you're doing is putting Americans in debt. And that's why everything is going to hell in the handbags. So let's go to Habakkuk. Let's go to Habakkuk, the second chapter. All right, let's read that. This is Habakkuk, the second chapter, and the 16th verse. You know what? Let's go up. Salakia. It's not the 16th. Verse 6, it says, should not all of these take up a proverb against him and a taunting proverb against him and say, woe to him that increases that which is not his? How long? And to him that laden himself with thick clay. And this whole debt bubble that's been created, this whole war with Iran was simply made because they want to take over the oil and dominate everybody for the sake of the greater Israel. Now the country is in debt to the point to where it's about to collapse. It's going to collapse. There's no ifs, ands, buts about it. This shit is about to happen soon. Florida already reported that their gas stations are running out of gas. Okay, and it's just a matter of time before that inflames the rest of the United States of America. Okay? So this man is the cruel Lord that the Bible had been speaking about. Let me go to let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus or Sirach, the 10th chapter. And it says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. You see that? Does this seem like this man is prudent? Does this seem like this mistake after mistake after mistake this man is doing, causing his enemies to turn against him? No. This man is prideful, egotistical, and honestly, a fucking idiot. You know? Just the type of man we needed to get in office to get this thing kicked off. All right, verse 2. It says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of ruler of the city is, such as all they that dwell therein. And this is why you have all of these MAGA supporters that are now starting to turn against this man because he's ruining their lives. But at one point, they were all with it. But if you really look at what they call the Epstein class, okay, I'm just gonna say it. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. Whatever. The Epstein class, right? They found that almost 60% of white American males in this country, in America, are pedos. So you wonder why they haven't came and overtook the Capitol yet, because they are all in that same mind frame. Then you got everybody in his cabinet, like Pete Hegseth, that are supporting this war and pushing it. But then you got the Israelites who are not sending a single soul from the IDF into this war. So it's really just you Americans that are being the sacrificial lamb for this particular war. Not just the military, but the country itself. Okay? Verse 3, it says, an unwise king destroyeth his people. Gas prices are going up. Food prices are going up. Okay? Systems and are shutting down, and things that you once had access to like nothing You don't have access to no more. The job market is collapsing, right? In the state of Georgia, Brian Kemp suspended gas tax to keep the gas prices low. Other than that, gas would already be at like $4 a gallon for regular. But that's only a temporary band-aid. It's not a fix, it's just a band-aid. Okay? So this man is an unwise king. And he's destroying his people. But see, this is also the Lord that's doing this. Because you Americans have lived deliciously for a very long time. And now it's time for you all to suffer like Jake's been suffering. All right? So it says, verse 3 again, it says, an unwise king destroyed his people, but through the prudence of them that which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. All right? So yeah, this place is finished. America's finished. All right? This man he does nothing but oppress and destroy. All right? Let me grab another one real quick. And I'm going to go Jeremiah 22. This is Jeremiah 22 and 17. And it reads, therefore, thus saith the Lord. Oh, it's like it. 17, it says, but thine eyes and thine heart are not built for thy covetousness. And, well, you know what? Salakia. Because Esau's heart is built for covetousness and for to shed innocent blood and for oppression and for violence to do it. Esau is built for that. This is what he was made for. He was built to be a covetous. He was built to shed innocent blood. He was built to oppress. And he was built for violence. That's why it says in the book of, was it Micah? Let's see, let me find that. I think it's Micah 3. Let me get it. Let me find it. Yeah, it's 2. Oh, I know it was in Micah. It says, woe to them, 2 and 1 is Micah 2 and 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When when the morning is light, they practice it, because it is in the power of their hand. And they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses and take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even a man in his heritage. And he's been doing that to Israel for so long, but now this man is doing it to the world. Verse 3, it says, therefore, thus saith the Lord, behold, against this family do I devise an evil, from which ye shall not remove your necks, neither shall you go haughtily, for this time is evil. This is why all of these things is happening to the kingdoms of Edom. It's not just happening here in America, it's happening to all of the kingdoms of Edom. All right? This war in Iran is going to bring about the destruction of the kingdom of Edom. All right? This man, Donald J. Trump, is hated amongst the rest of the world. And the next lesson that I do is going to be about that. How this man is getting denied to entry into all of the European nations. They don't want him there. They hate him. Because look at what he's doing. He's full of pride. He just think that he's this tough businessman, you know. And there's a meme. Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. All right. Of course they're gonna say it's false, but here it is right here. This is the image. Now, whether it's true that she actually said this, it is true that it's happening because both of these things are true. It says World Times Institute Post. It says Mother knows best. Trump's mother allegedly said once, yes, he is an idiot with zero common sense, no social skills, but he is my son. I just hope he never gets into politics. He would be a disaster. Mary Ann Trump. And look at this damn fool right here. He is an idiot with no sense. This is why he's up through and through those Steam files. He said and thought to himself, "Ah, I can, I can do this and get away with it." That's what he did. I can do all this and won't get caught. No one will ever hold me accountable. Exactly. This man right here. So there you have it. And it says, "Mama knows best." This is a very accurate statement because this man is an idiot. He has zero social skills. Nobody likes him. Okay? And he's a disaster in politics. So whether or not she said it is still true. Whether or not this is true, you know, that she said that, it is true that he is that. Okay? And I think this might have been the original post right here. Yes, he's an idiot with zero common sense and no social skills, but he's my son. I just hope he never gets into politics. He'll be a disaster. And they say that it's fake. It's not fake. This man is a damn idiot, and he is a disaster. Look at what's happening to everything. I would play tough with everybody. They're ripping us off. Don't understand nothing. But in his feeble mind, he think he does, because he's the basis of men. All right. So with that, I pray it's an edifying lesson. I'm gonna go ahead and end it off by giving all praise, glory, and honor to you. How about Shimmy Al Shai, by Shem Rakar Kadash. Until the next time, I say Shalom.